Hi YouTube, hi, this is Mark, Nixon Motorsports. This channel is all about motorsports, from racing to exotic cars and even simulators. We focus heavily on racing, and we do that because we have a race team where we continuously develop, test, and tune new products, new upgrades to our Formula 1000 race car. So a lot of the videos that we create or will be creating will be around these new upgrades and these new devices or these new products that we ultimately use as a team. So you'll see a lot of videos coming out on that. So let's get on to it. Today's video is about accelerometers, and basically we're going to be talking about accelerometers, why you need them, and ultimately which device we ended up using. Okay, so let's get with it. Come on. So why does it make sense adding a accelerometer or gyrometer to your race car? Most loggers, data acquisition systems, have accelerometers, G, lat long and vertical G sensors in the loggers themselves. So why do this? And I have Motec system in this race car, as many of you probably know. There's a few different reasons. The fidelity or the quality of the instrument, the sensor itself, is one reason you might want to consider this, and mounting in location. So most people, again, with accelerometers in your logger, is mounted typically on your dash or in some non-ideal spot, but specifically needed for your logger itself. The accelerometer, so where should you mount an accelerometer and a gyroscope in your race car, right? Well, you want it to be as close or right at your center of gravity, and that typically is not your dash and your other locations that you're going to have your logger mounted, right? So that's actually one reason. So what I decided to do is I turned to TechSense, by the way. The affiliation with TechSense is nothing more than we use a lot of their products. So I just want to throw that out there. But they make multiple different sensors, professional grade products. And I turned to, they call it the IB6. So they make 6-axis sensors. There are small little modules. They are a standalone device. You can get them in either analog output or digital output. So you can use these with virtually any other data acquisition system you have. I chose digital, so for me this is the simple, easiest way, integrating this with my Motec system. So it is a CAN protocol. You need to have it wired into one of your CAN buses and load the DBC file for your configuration and so on. So that's what I've done. So again, why would you want to or need to do this outside of having your accelerometer mounted very close to your center of gravity for your race car? Again, I would say really from just an accuracy level itself and a higher quality signal. So I turned to TechSense again for that reason, and you can get these accelerometers in multiple different configurations, from 2G, 3G, 5G, all the way up to I think even 20. So they're pretty intense units. Let me just scan over here and show you what the data sheet looks like for this particular sensor. So here you can see the sensor itself, small little module. I'll show you it here in the race car as well. And anyway, this is just a quick view of the data sheet itself. For me, it's important, especially the accelerometers for G-forces, to have very good understanding of lateral acceleration, lat G's, for longitudinal acceleration, so your braking and your engine acceleration. I think strong fidelity there makes a lot of sense. Now, one thing that I also find very cool is having a gyrometer in your race car. So if you think about it, why and what is that, right? So the 3-axis is actually giving you pitch, roll, and yaw on your race car. So in a 3D space, your vehicle is basically being tracked, and you understand its exact rotation, which I find it fantastic. Now, so for an example, understanding the roll of a vehicle, right? Yes, you can use suspension, your shocks, and so on, which I have, and many people do. But actually having a gyrometer that's actually understanding the accurate roll of the vehicle, again, where it's mounted from a center of gravity position, I find really fantastic. And even pitch, right? So as you try to manage the pitch of the vehicle under braking and acceleration, having really solid, accurate data on the gyrometer as well is I think a valuable tool. Okay, well, let me show you what it looks like. I'm using, and you can see how I unbox it here in a minute. TechSense builds a couple different versions of accelerometers. This happens to be the IB6. This is a digital-only device, meaning it speaks via CAN, and it is a 3-axis gyro and a 3-axis accelerometer. So let me open this thing up and you can see what this looks like. I wanted to show you the physical device itself. Now, if you can see this thing sitting in my hand, very, very small. In fact, let me take this cover off. This is a small mil-spec connector, and as I said earlier, this is a digital-only device, so you have to configure your Motec, your AIM, whatever data logger you're using to be able to understand, talk, and listen to the specific CAN messages. But this is it, very small. This will be mounted in the car, and let's get it in the car, let's wire it up, let's see what the data looks like, and we'll talk more about this, okay? So I'm going to show you where I mounted mine. I wasn't able to get it exactly at center of gravity, but it's pretty close. So if I just roll down here and show you, this is inside my cockpit here, right? So my seat is removed and so on. Here you can actually see the small little IB6 device itself. It's off center by just a couple inches, but it's very, very close to my center of gravity. As far as mounting this, you can do it either bolt, epoxy, even if you want to go crazy. I used Velcro, and basically when you use something like a Velcro to tie this down to your vehicle, it does take a little bit of the high frequency noise out, so I find it actually working really well. Okay. So let me turn to Motec, the I2 analysis software, just for a minute and show you some of what the data can do with the accelerometer and the gyrometer. First, let me turn to this worksheet here. Now this one, again, hopefully you can see this okay. It's a little busy. I have this under my suspension folder, and I have multiple different work groups, but this one I'm showing you gyro, pitch, roll, yaw. So this, if I pan out here, this is actually a bunch of data, but if I focus here specifically, here I have my roll, pitch, and yaw from the IB6 itself. So it's the roll is the green line here, which is the bigger variation, and so on. So I find that to be very interesting. Now, if I roll over here, here I have a splatter plot that basically is showing my roll with my lat g-forces, and so this is a good view of understeer, oversteer, and so on. So that's the kind of data you can get on that. if I roll over here to downforce, I think I have a bigger view here. Hang on a second. No, so if I roll over here on G forces, so this is under my driver setup, G forces. So here I'm looking at my lat, my long, my vertical, and I can look at any one of those directly. And then over here, this is your conventional GG display, where this is looking at long versus lat. And if you think about it, you know, the traction circle, right? So the more the driver uses these extremes or these edges on both sides, means that you're actually leaning on the car and using all available traction grip with your car itself. So this is a very common display, but those are just some ideas of what you can do with a very nice, accurate accelerometer. Okay. Well, that's it for this short accelerometer video. Very, very short. I hope you found it useful. I'll show more as I learn more with this, of course. But just from a news item before I break, I have quite a few videos coming out this winter. A few more upgrades to the car that I'll drag you along so you can see what's going on. And that's about it for now. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please consider doing so. And that's it for now. So until then, ciao. Bye.